machine. It literally will not take a bad picture. Just a stunning car. And I'm looking forward to driving it. Michael from QualityClassics.com. Do you like the first and second series Mustangs? That's the cars from 1964 and a half to 1968. I have a second question. Do you know which year is the rarest in those two series of Mustangs? I can answer that for you, and it's 1968, and that's by a long shot. Did you know that there is over 100% more 1966 Mustangs produced in 1966 than in 1968? Over 100%. And in 1967, there is 50% more Mustangs produced than in 1968. Yeah, that's 150,000 more 67 Mustangs than in 1968. Now, why is that? Why did production fall off so dramatically in 1968? Well, probably the greatest reason is the strike. There was a union worker strike in 1968 that just crippled production. I mean, it just stopped dead in its tracks. So 1968 consequently had a whole lot fewer cars sold. And there was probably a little bit of softening of demand, because you now had 3 years of Mustangs produced earlier that now some of those, or many of those, are available in the used market. So you didn't have to buy a brand new Mustang to have a Mustang in 1968. You could buy a used Mustang. Okay, let's see, what else can I tell you about that? Let's see, in 67 versus 68, you know, two very similar years. So you have 150,000 more 68s than 67. You know, basically, in terms of fastbacks, 71,000 fastbacks built in 67 versus 41,000 in 68. Now, we all know that it's really hard to find a nice cherry 1967 fastback. It's doubly hard to find a nice cherry 68 fastback. Really difficult. Now, it's even harder to find a high quality, well-sorted, stunning J-code 4-speed 68 fastback like this car right here. Just look at it. Okay, so clearly it's laser straight and the paint is about as nice as man can make it. But what else qualifies it for a high quality car that's well sorted? Well, really a lot of stuff goes into that category, but I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of what's important to me. Number one is body integrity. In the case of this car, we've got all factory Ford metal, including the floor. Can't find a patch panel on this car. Very, very impressive. My son and I call those cars the freaks. It's freakishly rare to find one like that. This car also has its original mechanical components, original engine, the original engine block. And how do I know that? I looked at the casting on the block and I looked at the assembly date code stamped on the block, and yep, it's the original engine. You can compare these things with the build date of the body. It also has original door trim tag. And the car is substantially original, substantially like Ford built it, new from the factory. Now, we have added some tasteful upgrades and enhancements, make a big difference in the car in terms of the visual, in terms of the enjoyability and the comfort. But also there's another thing that goes into what I would call a well-sorted, high-quality car. And that's beyond how it looks, and that's beyond the body integrity, and that's beyond the options, and that's what's the experience like behind the wheel. When you drive the car, what's that like? Does that please you? Does that excite you? Well, let's go on a test drive. You draw your own conclusions where this car is concerned, but I can tell you, it pleases me and it excites me. Let's go on that test drive. Okay, here we go. Feels really good back here in these twisties. I love this 302. You know, Chevrolet made some great small blocks too, no doubt about it. But you've got to admit that 289 and that 302 were right there with the best of the best. All right, let's go some highway speeds. There you are. And beyond. Oh yeah, she will go. Very impressive. Okay, now we're down 60 miles per hour and it's just walking down the road. It's got a lot more, but it also does 60 miles per hour effortlessly. It's a walk in the park. 60, 65, 70, no problem. You don't need any more power than that in this chassis. Now I know a lot of people will really boo-hoo that statement, but that's my opinion. This car will run. This little 302 has got a lot of muscle, plenty of muscle, and it's a thrill. Okay, so we're cruising 65. I don't have an RPM gauge, I can't tell you what it's turning, but it's not straining. Good highway car. A lot of wind noise with the windows down, but I'm hoping we can hear the exhaust when I yump on it. I can hear it in the cabin. It's not loud, it's not an aggressive exhaust system, but it's got a really good tone. I'm hoping it translates. Okay, so this is the beauty of the 302. Back on the back roads, and yes, it has a lot of horsepower, but it's a mild-mannered old chap too. You know, you can go cruising through the neighborhood with your kids, with your grandkids, with your girlfriend, whatever you want to do. It is a fast car, but it's got both personalities. It's mild-mannered, and it likes to go too. You make the decision. Okay, let's do a U-turn here. No problem. It really does feel good back here in these turns. Very tight. It's a tight car. Well, that's it for the test drive. I hope you enjoyed it. I always enjoy it. Click like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff that helps my son and I make more videos. Also, go to our website, qualityclassics.com. Check out the incredible treasures my son and I find and make available to the next buyer. We may end up with something you'll fall deeply in love with, or you may have something we'll fall deeply in love with. Either way, let us know and come back often. Adios.